What are tissues? A group of cells that are similar in structure or work together to achieve a particular function forms a tissue. Most of the tissues in plants are supportive, which provide them with structural strength. Plant tissues are basically divided into two groups: plant tissues and animal tissues. Plant tissue consists of meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissue. These are simple living tissues having thin walled compactly arranged immature cells which are capable of division and function and formation of new cells. The growth of plants occurs only in certain specific region as meristematic tissues are present at that region. Features of meristematic tissues: thin primary cell wall, intercellular space are absent, generally vacuoles are absent, large number of cell organelles are present, active metabolic state, stored food is absent, active dividing cell are present. Classification of meristematic tissues on the basis of origin, primary and secondary. Classification of meristematic tissues on the basis of location, apical meristematic, lateral meristematic, intercalary meristematic. Permanent tissues. Old meristematic cells lose the capacity to divide the transform into permanent tissue. This process of taking up a permanent shape, size, and function is called differentiation. These are cells which have lost the capacity to divide but are specified to provide strength, flexibility, and elasticity to the plant. The division and differentiation of the cell of meristematic tissues give rise to the permanent tissues. In cell differentiation, developing tissues and organs changes from simple to more complex forms to become specialized for specific functions. These tissues can be further classified into simple permanent or complex permanent. Simple permanent, these are made up of same type of cells which are similar in structure and function. They include two types of tissues: protective tissues and supporting tissues. Protective tissues. These tissues are primarily protective in function. They consist of epidermis and cork. Supporting tissues. These are supportive in function. They can be categorized into parenchyma, collenchyma, scalenchyma based on the function. Complex permanent tissues. It consists of more than one type of cells which work together as a unit. It helps in transportation of organic materials, work, and minerals. Complex permanent tissues are also known as conducting or vascular tissues. Xylem and phloem together forms vascular bundles. Animal tissues. These are the tissues present only in animals. Different types of animal tissues are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, nerves tissue. Epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue forms a lining all over the body of the organism. It protects the inner lining parts. It also secretes in function to secrete sebum and excrete waste along with sweat. Sometimes it is observative in nature. Epithelial tissue act like a barrier to keep the different body systems separate. These are tightly packed and forms a continuous sheet without intercellular space. Basically found at the lining of the blood vessels, lining of the mouth, kidney, skin, lung, etc. The cells are permeable. This makes it possible for them to exchange materials between parts of the body and also between the part and the external environment. Connective tissue. They are loosely bound cells present in an intercellular matrix. Connective tissues are fibrous in nature. They include blood, bone, ligament, cartilage, adipose tissues. These helping in binding other tissues together. They also provide support to other tissues. Muscle tissue. Muscle tissue consists of elongated cells, also called muscle fibers. These tissue is responsible for movement. Muscle contains special proteins called contractile protein which contract and relax to cause movement. They are elastic in nature, they have tensile strength. These muscles can be voluntary or involuntary in function. Muscular tissues are of three kinds, namely striated muscles, unstriated muscles, and cardiac muscles. Nerve tissues. Nerve tissues are found in the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Nerve tissues is the tissue which works in coordinating the organs of the body by generating impulses. It is made up of special cells called neurons. Each neuron consists of a cell body which contains a nucleus cytoplasm called cyton, from which long thin hair like parts arise. Usually, each neuron has a single long part called the axon and many short branches called dendrites. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please do share, subscribe, like my video, and don't forget to comment below.